Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we're on our 13th unit of this level, the upper intermediate level. Unit 13, we're dealing with facts and figures, and we're working still on the vocabulary for this unit because vocabulary is everything for this. All of those ways of expressing facts and figures. What we're going to do eventually, by the end of the unit, is use the language we've learned about how to present facts and figures, and you're going to look at facts and figures behind a series of successful websites and decide which one will be the most successful as a place to advertise a new product. So you're going to be able to discuss facts and figures and use it in a kind of a business meeting where you can make a decision, but talk about the numbers that are involved in making your decision. That'll be an important point. Okay, so that's coming up. First, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means please turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Also, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And now, I'm going to put the presentation we're doing, I'm going to put the notes on the screen first. Give me just a second to get this on the screen. There you go. So when you open that link in the class material, you will get here. And what we're going to do is do a quick summary of yesterday and move on. So on page 3, you can see we're in Unit 13, Facts and Figures. You are here. I'm scrolling down to page 6, where we have all the links for our unit. I'm going to open the presentation because it takes a minute to load. And I'm going to do a quick summary because yesterday we ended the class, but I don't think I had a chance to summarize. So let's do it right now. Let's just get rid of this. That, and let's get rid of that and start over. Okay, so we have always 3 questions. What did we do? So what, or why was it important? And now what should we do about it? So this was class 2 yesterday. The date was the 21st. What did we do? We did 2 things actually. We heard a presentation from Unit 12 and gave feedback. That was from your presentation, Greg. And by the way, Greg, if you want to send it to me to correct, you can send it to me. I forgot to tell you that yesterday. I gave you corrections, but I gave you lots of information.
Okay, so, I don't make it with entire phrase.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
It was just words. It was an improvisation.
Okay. Even more impressive if it was an improvisation.
No, I put domain IDs and words on a paper.
Right. Okay, well, very good then. Give me a second here. Whoops. Okay, so besides your presentation from Unit 12, we started to learn vocabulary. So we began the working with words. Oh, sorry. The working with words section and looked at. Let's take a quick look. There we go. So we started here by guessing what these pictures had to do with the idea of killer technologies. What technologies they killed off. Then we moved on and we read a little background. Let me just move back here. We might have to look at this again if you weren't here, because the vocabulary is really specific. But I would say we looked at. Oops. We began with the working with words section and looked at key phrases, the key words for example, approximate. Oh, why can't I type? My God, I can't type and speak. Approximate figures. That was one thing particularly, because we had words like slightly less, approximately, just over, for approximate figures. So what? Well, you should start to have an idea about how to talk in general about numbers, about different kinds of numbers. What now? I asked you yesterday to complete parts 3 to 5 on your own. I asked you to do that, but I didn't send you the link, so if you didn't do it, I understand. Okay? So let's do this. Let's say hello to some new faces, because I see some new faces. In fact, look, I even see a real human being. Renan, you're a real human being. I can see your face. This is amazing. This is the first time I can see someone's face. I'm so happy. Look at that. A real human being, everyone. Look at that. And what a beautiful face it is. Renan, where are you from?
I'm from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro.
Bem-vindo.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So this is our business class, and I'm sharing the presentation that we did yesterday. We're going to learn specifically about how to talk about not exact numbers, but approximate numbers. So we're going to reread this. I think it would be a good idea to review this, and for you it'll be the first time. And Odie, I cannot see you. Do you have your camera on? Or is that from before? I see a message. Can you see me? I cannot see you. I turned my camera yesterday. Well, not today. Now I see a hut. I see the hut, though. Let's say welcome back to Paulo. Long time no see, Paulo. Welcome back.
Hello. Nice to see you again.
So we've got two Brazilians today.
Yes.
Excellent.
Brazilian people.
Renan, what part of Brazil are you from?
I live in Rio de Janeiro, on the west zone of the city.
And Paulo, you're not in Rio, are you?
No, I am from Belo Horizonte, other state. But Rio is great, Belo Horizonte too.
It's all good. Although I've never been there, but I'm sure it is. Someday I'll go. Let's say a quick hello to Juan, because I don't recognize that face, so maybe you're new. Hello, Juan Bautista. How are you? Juan, are you there? Senor.
Hello, hello.
There we go. Now I hear you.
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. I'm from Spain.
Ah, whereabouts in Spain?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Whereabouts. That means where from. Whereabouts.
I'm from Valencia in Spain.
Valencia. Okay, very good. Nice to have you. When I say whereabouts, whereabouts means what part. Whereabouts. What part. So you're from Valencia. All right.
Whereabouts. Yeah.
Whereabouts, right. Okay, so yesterday we read through this, but I think we should read it again for our new people. It's pretty short, but the language is really important. All right, so if it's not a problem, we're going to read this really quickly. We're going to go to the exercises right away about the use of the language. We're going to skip 2 because we did it yesterday. Go right to part 3 and 4 and 5. All right, is that okay with everyone? Are we cool?
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay.
All right. So Juan and Renan and Paulo, you're going to just follow along and pay attention to the language, the words in bold in particular. All right? The rest of you, you're going to reread this, and we're going to go right to the exercises. So, Daniel, first paragraph.
Killer technologies.
Tech.
When the
We'll hear the
tech. Okay. Killer technologies. When the steam ship was introduced, it was known for blowing up.
Hang on a second. Introduce it?
Introduced.
Good.
Was introduced, it was known for blowing up. Eventually, however, the technology improved and it mostly replaced its predecessor, the sailing boat. Then along came the internal combustion engine, and the steamship in turn became redundant.
Right. So we didn't need steam anymore. So this is talking about killer technologies, and we're going to use this because in this unit, you're going to have to decide on a technology that will help you sell a product at the very end of the unit. Not in today's class, but at the very end. Sorry, is there a problem with the line? Because I'm seeing a message, there's an echo.
Yes, you sound like a machine. There
Me?
is an echo. Yes.
What
From
about
your
to the rest of you? Do you hear an echo?
No. Only
No, but
coming
I'm saying maybe it's a connection between Portugal and Brazil. So I'm in Portugal. Daniel, do I sound like a machine when I'm talking?
No.
Yeah.
But Daniel says no, so maybe it's your connection, Renan.
I have an echo too when you're speaking, and Daniel too.
Ah, that's weird.
I'm with Renan on this.
All right, let me mute Juan. Let me mute your microphone for a minute. Okay. What about now? Do you hear an echo now? Is it better?
It's the same.
It's the same.
It's
Let me
still
mute.
bad. Yes, still the same. Okay. Sometimes I have problems with my internet connection, but it's not a case today. It's okay. I was just navigating around other websites, and it was okay.
I know, but I teach 8 hours a day, and my connection is usually really good. So I don't think it's me. But Daniel, you don't hear any problem with my audio, right, Daniel?
No.
Okay.
I hear you properly.
And Greg, you do hear a problem, yeah?
It seems it's a little bit better now, eh?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do one quick thing. I'm going to change the bandwidth. 1 second. Let me lower the bandwidth. Okay. What about now? Has it improved at all?
No. But there's no problem. Sometimes I can understand you, sometimes I can't. But generally,
It's
I will
okay.
follow the class. No problem.
All
You
right.
can go on.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the hangout, the connection between you and me, because here in Europe, although I don't know, yeah. All right, anyway, let's give it a try. So the first paragraph is that the killer technology was the internal combustion engine, right? Greg, take the second one for us.
Okay. The petrol engine proved to be by far the most important technology of the early 20th century, and car ownership grew by approximately 50% each year between 1910 to 1930, as well as replacing what came before it. This killer technology revolutionized the entire world economy in just over 20 years, with its impacts on transport, trade, road building, and oil.
There we go. So a little more information on a little more information on the internal combustion engine as a killer technology. A little bit more. All right? Mr. Juan, can you take the next one for us?
Okay. Where is the part where I am?
The third paragraph.
Okay. I have a problem when the people speak. I can't see the text.
When people speak, you can't see the text? Really?
I can only see the image of the picture.
You need to
picture.
Okay, is it normal?
You need to pick on John picture.
But
Yeah.
listen, wait, everyone. I've set the camera to be on the text, so when other people speak, it shouldn't move. It should always be on the text. So you're telling me that the camera is moving when people speak?
Yes.
Really?
When the people speak, I only can see the face of the people.
Oh my God, that's not supposed to happen.
Okay, no problem. I begin reading the third paragraph, if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna, yeah, but maybe I did something wrong. I'm gonna try to click it again, and now it should move. If it does move, let me know. Okay, go ahead. Third paragraph. On.
Third paragraph.
Yeah.
Do you want I begin with it?
Yes, please.
Okay. In the second half of the 20th century, the transistor experienced a similar extremely fast growth. The number of transistors produced in the world has reached 10, 11.
This one we did yesterday. Does anyone remember how we say that from yesterday?
10
Come
to
on.
the 18th.
218.
That's
10
it.
to the end 18th. Okay.
Good. That's
Okay.
it.
Compared to just over a million in 1955. The average price per transistor has fallen steadily from 1 divided per 10.
Uh-oh.
No?
Help him out. Rebecca, how do we say that? Rebecca.
1/10.
Good.
Okay. 1/10 of a cent in 1975 to about 1/10 millions of a cent this year. In addition, chips' critical dimensions have shrunk from 5,000 nanometers. Nanometers, okay.
Because nano and
Nano.
milli can't exist. It's either nano or milli. You can't say both. So here it's nanometers.
Nanometers. To slightly less than 90 nanometers since 1974 and are continuing to fall.
So overall, what's happening to the size of chips?
The chips have been growing along the last years.
Have been growing. What do you mean?
Have been growing, sorry.
What do you mean growing? Getting bigger?
Yes, bigger. It has been becoming bigger and bigger.
But wait, look at the last line on the left side. The very last line on the left side.
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
They have
become a little. Sorry.
right,
More liters.
or
Sorry.
they have shrunk.
Okay, shrunk. Have shrunk. Thanks.
That's it. Okay, very good. Paulo, you were not here yesterday, so why don't you take the next one on the right side?
The combustion engine and transistor were core technologies that changed society. They led to thousands of new developments, including mass tourism and television, respectively. But as they opened new opportunities, they also destroyed older industries.
One thing, combustion. That's it. Okay, very good. So, chips have shrunk, and these chips and transistors and combustion engines change society. Paulo, why don't you continue and let's find out how, according to the author, society has changed. Continue, please.
At the beginning of the 21st century, the Internet promises to bring about as much change as anything in history, and is developing fast. Internet speeds have increased substantially.
Substantially. Good.
Substantially. We have moved rapidly from 28.8 kilobytes.
Uh-oh. I know you want to say dot, but you can't in this case. You can't. What's another way to say it? Not dot, but the other word.
I don't know, 28.8.
Help him out, class. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Connections to broadband. In Europe, there was 206.2% growth in Internet
Good.
usage between 2000 and 2007, thus reaching fractionally less than 40% of the population, or somewhere in the region of 322 million people.
Million thousand? Uh-oh.
No?
Doesn't work. No. You can't say million and thousand together. 322 million or thousand? Which?
Million.
Million people. That's it. Just 322 million. Okay, very good. That's it.
Thank you.
So these are some of the changes. So a killer technology, let's just summarize by defining a killer technology. According to this text, what do you think a killer technology is? Rebecca, why don't you answer that question? What do you think a killer technology is according to what we just read, if you had to summarize? What is a killer technology?
Is to stop using something, no anymore.
Some technology, maybe.
Yeah, the old technology, and start using the new one,
So, do we have a choice to use the new one, or are we forced to use the new one?
No, we don't have a choice. It's something fast, and we can do nothing to avoid it.
Pretty much. Just like a meteor hitting the Earth and killing off the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
A killer technology kills off what comes before. So you're right. We don't really have much of a choice. It just everyone uses it and we can't go back. Okay. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but there's good and bad with everything. We talked about it a little yesterday. I want to go right into the main point, which is the language of approximate figures. So I want you to look at these figures in number 3. We've already done number 2, but look at exercise 3. What do these numbers refer to in the text and how do you say them? So this is a good review. Rebecca, how do you say the first one again?
Yeah. The number 2 and number 3.
In exercise 3,
yes.
Number 1. Exercise 3, number 1.
Number 1. 10 to the 18th.
10 to the 18th. You can say, let me give you 2 options. 10 to the 18th power, or 10 to the power of 18.
The first one is easier.
I'll write it in the chat window too. 10 to the, what did I say? 10 to the 18th. 18th
power. 10 to the 18th power.
Okay, so that's the first. And the second would be similar, but 10 to the power of 18. So you say of 18, you drop the th. It's not an order. It's not a ordinal number, 18th, like first, second, third. It's a cardinal number, like 1, 2, 3. So you've got 2 ways to say it. If you want, pick one and stick with it to make it easy. I say 10 to the 18th power. All right?
Yeah.
Now, That is correct. It's 10 to the 18th power. And what did it refer to? Do you remember?
The number of the number of the transistors.
That's right. Number of the transistors produced in the entire world.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. That's it. Paulo, look at 20. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost gave you the answer. Look at number 2. Say that number for me again. Paulo, are you there? I don't hear Paulo. Does anyone hear Paulo? Paulo, are you sleeping? Okay, we'll come back to you in a minute. Odie, are you there?
No.
Ah, say number 2 for me again, and tell me what it refers to.
28.8 kilobyte per second.
Excellent. And you already said what it refers to. It refers to the kilobytes. Do you remember? Can you say a little bit more about it?
Yeah, it is about the connection broadband in the Europe that is ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was, let's call it, the connection on broadband. Yeah, the connection speed, in other words. Okay? Good enough. Mr. Juan, look at number 3. That's easy.
Yes, 1910.
Exactly. And what did that refer to?
I don't remember what reference this year.
Does anyone remember what happened in 1910?
In 1910, I think it would be related with STEM machine.
Almost. There was another technology. Almost. It's the technology that replaced.
Replaced. Okay.
Yeah.
The fuel, no? Fuel oil. I
right.
think.
That's basically it. Can anyone add any information to that?
Raleigh is the beginning of the growth of car ownership.
That's it. So Juan, we're talking about the internal combustion engine.
Okay. Okay.
Right,
thanks.
which uses fuel, like we said.
Okay. I'm a little lost today. my first day. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Okay. Okay.
And as Greg said, it was the first year that car ownership began growing. The first year. It began growing really fast. And 1910 was the year when everyone started to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everyone. Everyone who had money. Okay. But you get the idea.
I got it. Thanks.
Number 4 is easy. 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that important in the text? Everyone. This one's easy, so I'll just throw it out there. Number 4. What happened in 2007 in the text? Anyone remember?
Go
for it.
Internet. The speedest internet was used.
The speed of the internet was?
Use it between 2000 and 2007.
Okay. You said the speed, though. Is it the speed? Or is it...
The fastest.
I don't think it's the speed, though. That you're right about 2000.
The users, no?
Say again?
The rhythm of users.
The users, right.
Okay.
We'll call it the usage. The usage. So we have the verb to use, which becomes the noun, the usage. The usage of the internet grew by a very high percentage. Becca, do you remember the percentage?
Yeah.
Actually, look at that chart. Not the chart. Look at the numbers 1 to 10. Can you spot the percentage that the internet grew by between 2000 and 2007? Can you see it there? Rebecca?
Me? Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Look at numbers 1 to 10 and tell me, can you see the percentage that the internet grew by
Yeah.
2007?
Yeah, it was 200.2%.
Right? That's right.
Reach the population.
206.2% of the population.
Yeah.
Usage grew by 206.2%. Wow. So it expanded very fast. Mr. Daniel, look at number 5. How do we say that again?
1/10.
1/10. And that referred to what? Do you remember?
The price of the transistor, the average,
In what year?
in 1975.
There you go. By the way, Juan, since you're new, if you open this presentation, you can just click back and forth between the pages. So if you open this new browser and you want to double check, just go back to slide 5.
Yes, the presentation is in the... Okay.
The presentation
in the left?
is the presentation. I'll put it in the chat window for you. There's the link.
Okay. A ver.
But in the future, this class will always have a link to notes, which you can see right now. And we're doing presentation 1. I'll tell you in the class what presentation we're on. And then you'll always find the link here. So even when the class ends, you can always go back and review the material as long as you keep the notes in your Google Drive. You just make a copy or save it to your Google Drive. Anyway, today we are here on presentation 1, slide 6, but go back at any point to slide 5 to review. Okay? So Daniel is absolutely right. 1/10 refers to the year 1975, when the price of the transistor was what, 1/10 of what it had been, I think is what it was. Rebecca, number 6 is what?
Number 6 is...
What's that number?
20th.
20th. Very good. 20th.
Yeah. It's the century.
It's a century.
That's true. It was the century where the transistor experimented a big growth.
That's true, yeah. And the combustion engine was invented and everything. So the 20th century was kind of the technology century that we've read about. I agree. It refers to the century. Number 7, we already talked about. Number 8, well, I think you know what that is. Odie, say the figure in number 8 for us.
21st century.
It's 21st century, so another century. Odie, can you say the figure in number 9 for us?
5,000 nanometers, no?
That's right. And that referred to?
To size of I don't know.
Size of what?
Chips,
size of the chips. Exactly, the processor size. In 1974, the processors were 5,000 nanometers. Okay, and last one, Mr. Huang. Can you see that number?
322 millions.
Okay, 2 changes. Don't say and don't say s. Not millions, but million.
Million, okay.
And don't say the and, not 322. You don't need to say it. You can just say 322 million.
Perfect, I got it.
There you go. Okay, these are numbers and they're tricky, especially 10 to the 18th. That's quite difficult. Also, we don't say dot because it's not .com. We say point because it's a number. It's a percentage. We say point with percentages and other numbers. We say dot if it's a URL address. Which words or phrases out of the words and phrases in bold on slide 5? Which words or phrases in bold in the text? Oh my God. Wait, I want to say match. I want to say which words match. Let me start over. Match the words and phrases in bold to the text with the phrases of similar meaning. I'll say the word. If you need to, go back to slide 5 and you tell me, whoops, went too far. There we go. You tell me which of these bold words fits. The bold words are approximately, just over, slightly less than, substantially, fractionally, and somewhere in the region of. I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting 6. Marginally. If you know the answer, shout it out. Marginally. Uh-oh.
Approximately.
1 vote for approximately. Anyone else? Agree? Disagree?
Fractionally. I disagree. Fractionally.
So, class, as a group, what do you think?
I think my answer was somewhere in region of.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
We all have different
It's the
answers.
part.
Uh-oh. All right, let's come back to marginally in a second. We got 3 answers, but when we do the others, you'll be able to weed out the right answer, I think. A little more than.
Just over.
Just over.
Just
Do we agree?
over, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Number two, we agree. Number 3, a great deal.
Substantially.
Substantially. Okay.
Good.
I'm
Be
agree.
careful of the pronunciation. Sub.
Substantially.
Good.
Substantially. All right.
And also, don't forget at the very end, you have the sh sound. Substantially.
Substantially.
So be careful, because the sh is only at the end. Say it. Substantially.
Substantially.
That's it. All right. Number 4, just under.
Slightly less
Slightly.
than.
Generally.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Slightly less than. It's good. Number 5 is roughly.
Approximately.
Greg says
Approximately.
approximately. So Daniel, do you want to change your answer for number 1 and agree with Greg?
Which
Yeah,
one
I
is
agree
4?
with Greg.
Excuse me, which one is number 4?
Slightly less.
Slightly less than.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one, roughly,
For number 5,
approximately.
that's 2 votes for approximately. I think we're going to go with approximately for number 5. Roughly and approximately. That means that number 1, well, we'll find out in a second. We have to do number 6 first.
Somewhere in the
Probably.
region.
I don't know.
Think number 6.
I don't
What is
know.
Number 6?
Number 6 is about?
Somewhere in the region of.
Oh,
I think so. Let's go back to the text.
Somewhere in the
And
region.
let's go back to the text and see if it makes sense. Let's see.
Okay.
If we go back here, whoops, and we go back to that last sentence, we could say less than 40% of the population, or about 322 million. It works. It sounds okay. And so the same with fractionally. Fractionally is a little bit weird. You don't hear it all. Marginally and fractionally. Let's see if we can go back and see if it sounds good. Thus reaching marginally less than 40%. Marginal means not the main amount. Not the main amount. Marginal is like a small amount, less important. So I agree. Fractionally is not a word you hear every day. It's new. Even for me, I don't really normally say it. But I think we got the answers now. So to summarize, number 1 is fractionally. Number 2 is just over. Number 3 is substantially. Number 4 is slightly less than. Number 5 is approximately. Number 6 is somewhere in the region of. Now I want you to use some of these words. Ask and answer questions 1 to 5. It is unlikely you will know the exact figures to use. So, the exact figures, so use the words and phrases in 4 and give an estimate. Okay? Rebecca, what's the average price of a car? You have economy, mid-range, and luxury in your country. You don't know for sure, give an estimate. You have to use one of those keywords.
Well, I think the average price of a economy car is just under or slightly less than 8,000 euros.
Really? That cheap? Wow. That's not bad at all.
I don't have any idea about cars, so it's just my guess, you know. If Daniel knows more about it, he can help me. Help me.
What do you think, Daniel? Is that about right?
It's about 20,000 euros.
I would have thought so too.
The economy.
She's talking about the low end of the scale, the economy scale. Do you think 20,000 is too high?
I think we can find cars cheaper than 20,000.
We are talking about an average.
Okay, okay.
So, Daniel, if the economy is slightly, well, not slightly less, but I guess we could say roughly 20,000. What do you think a luxury car is in Spain? What's a luxury car?
40, 50.
So, what are you defining as a luxury car? A Porsche?
Yeah.
Can you get a Porsche for 40,000 euros? Really?
I disagree with this.
I would have guessed something different. I don't know. I don't know anything about cars either, but I would have guessed it would be higher.
I think maybe it's about, it's approximately, roughly 10
euros?
No, come on, 10,000.
For what?
For the cheapest, you know.
Yeah, I could see that.
You can see every day a Porsche on the street, but you can see a Mercedes or BMW.
Right.
About 45,000 euros.
Okay, so that's for a Mercedes or something
Well,
like that.
I consider that mid-range because luxury, it would be a car. It cost about 19,000, 100,000, something like that, and you can find Mercedes that the price is like that.
You can, yeah, you can.
You can buy for 40,000 Mercedes.
Yes, but it's not the look for me. It's not the luxury.
It's a point of view.
Oh yes. Yes.
I would have said that, yeah, 100,000 is probably a luxury car. I don't really know, but I know I can't afford them. That's the important thing.
I'm talking about my car's price. I was looking for a car, and more or less the average I can afford it's 20,000 euros.
So you have to be
a normal person or with a normal job.
Right. Okay, so that sounds pretty good, and we got a chance to use some of the phrases. Let's take a look at one or two others. I want to really hear you use this language to make your guesses. Great. What do you think about number 2? How much does your family spend on travel costs? Do you travel a lot?
To travel, it depends what you mean with travel.
I mean,
I can visit my family every week,
right?
so it's a kind of travel, a little travel, but kind of travel.
A little travel is a trip.
No, I don't. We don't travel.
A little travel is a trip. Take a trip. So you take a trip to see your family. Are they close?
About 60 kilometers.
Okay, so it's not so far. So, on average, what is it costing you per month? What do you think?
Probably.
You are forbidden to use the word probably because you have those great words on the screen, like
worldly, approximately 1,000 euro per month.
Really? That much? Wow.
Not
why so much?
If you count what's the name? I can't find my word in English. The price of the car. The price of the car into the years of use, the maintenance,
right. The insurance too, maybe.
The charge, everything you have to the gasoline.
Yeah. All of that. All the expenses. Well, we there's a term. I can't remember the term. I'm just blanking. But
amortization.
There's a term for the value of the car through the years. I just can't think of what it is right now. I know what you mean.
Amortization, no?
No, but that's very technical to say amortization. Do you mean amortization is for a loan? Depreciation. There you go. That's it. How did you know that, Paulo? That's exactly the word I wanted. Depreciation of the car. So, in other words, it's kind of like saying the resale value. Not that you're going to resell it, but something like that. Amortization is for the payments, I guess. If you can break the car up into payments, amortization is how much you can divide the payments up or something like that. Okay, very good. So about 1,000. Do you know how we say 1,000 in American English? I say $1,000. You know how I say that in kind of slang English?
$1,000. No.
Nope. We can't use 100.
Big.
What?
In Spanish, in American movies,
yeah,
I've heard translate to Spanish a big.
Yeah, but how do you say? Yeah. But wait a second. How do you say big in Spanish?
Grande.
Exactly. That's how you say it in English. 1,000 is a grand.
Grand.
A grand. It's like that.
It's a translation.
You use that for money. Use that pretty much only for money. So, how much do you spend? Oh, about a grand a month. No, not about. We're going to use about. We're going to say somewhere in the region of a grand a month.
Grand. It's not about size, no?
Nope. It means 1,000. A grand.
No. No in slang. The meaning of the
word
grand, yes.
Grand means more like ostentatious, big, astonishing. Like you do something in a grand style.
Okay.
It's not big, but not physically big. Big like impressive, maybe. Ostentatious, grand, something like that. So there you go. If someone says, "Hey, do you want a grand?" you say yes, because that's like a month's salary. You know, that's not bad. Pretty good. let me see if I wanted to do the listening if we have time. How are we going to do this? Do we have time to do the listening? I don't know if we have time to do this. Okay, I'm going to try it. I want to move on. Hopefully, actually, I didn't hear from all of you, so I think what we're going to do is the language here, as you'll notice, as these lessons continue, we've gone up to another level. We're in the upper intermediate level, and the language is not easy. It takes a little time of getting to get used to it. So we're going a little bit slower. I think if I do the next section with you and finish this part of the unit, it's maybe going to be a little bit too much to take in. So I think what we're going to do is, I want to hear from the rest of you talking about some of these things in your country. And what I'm going to do is give you a listening to do on your own. I'm going to give you a link after the class, okay? Because if I do it in class, I think I don't know, it's going to take too long, but I want to move forward. So I'm going to give you this next section as a homework, and I'll give you an MP3 that you can link to and try this on your own. Okay, we will do the speaking activity in the next class, which is, oh, where is it? Here. Okay, so we will do this in the next class, but this section that you see, 8, 7, and 6, I'm going to give that to you to try on your own. For the rest of this class, I just want to hear you use the key language. That's really the most important thing. Okay, so I want to give each of you a chance to talk and to compare answers too. So, Mr. Odie, take a look at number 3 for us.
Yeah.
Take a look at number 3.
What percentage of the item in your home in electronic chips?
What a strange question, but okay. It's okay. It's a strange question. Maybe in relation to the article where we talked about how chip sizes have decreased. Maybe a better question is, what percentage of items in your home today contain chips compared to 10 years ago? Maybe that's a better question. What do you think about that, Odie?
Yeah, I think it's contain how many years ago? Last year?
I was saying compared to a decade ago.
Oh, compared to decade ago, I think it's more than 90%.
So now it's more than 90%. And what was it a decade ago for you?
10 years ago, only computers contain chips.
So in a percentage, what would that be? If it's 90% now, what do you think it was?
It was only a little more than 10%. No, 5%, I think.
Wow,
Then,
so a big change.
yeah, a very big change, because today in my homes there is a smart TV contain chips, the Android TV or something like that, and then many other things that contain chips.
Okay, very good. I would say, from what I'm used to, maybe 20 years ago, 5%, and now, I won't say 100%, but yeah, something like that. Paulo, what about you in Brazil? How would that sound similar to what it's like for you? Do you think your comparison would be the same as Odie's?
Well, for me, I think that 100% compared 10 years ago, because 10 years ago we didn't have any chips. Nowadays we have cell phone chips on the cell phone, on the computer. So if I could compare with 10 years ago, nowadays is 100% of different.
Yeah, nowadays we have chips in our pets, chips in our brain, chips everywhere.
Almost.
You can find out where your dog is, although strangely they won't They won't. They put chips in dogs, but they don't like putting them in cats. At least here, I don't know why. But anyway,
Good idea.
Unfortunately, the chips can't control the dog or the cat. But at least you can find out where your dog or cat is if you lose it. What do you think about number 4, Paulo? About the internet connection? What's that like in Brazil these days? Uh-oh, Paulo?
Yes, I lost my connection today, so
Yes.
I have a problem with my connection today. But of
So
course,
question number 4 is a perfect question for you. Look at number 4.
thank you. But of course, we have more speed currently available internet. Unfortunately, sometimes we lost the connection, but it's better than other years, 10 years, for example, ago. Nowadays, is more speed.
Do you know what speeds are available?
10 Q, 10 megabytes. It's correct? Is it correct?
Megabits.
Megabits.
Yeah,
10 megabits.
10 megabits. That's okay. It's not bad.
Any Portugal? What do you have?
Let's see. Let's put it this way. It's really strange. If you're in the city, you can have easily 30. If you're slightly outside of the city, you're lucky if you get 4. Lucky if you get 4. And I'm talking about 5 minutes outside of the city. That's what's crazy. So I can walk to the city from here. I'm just on the border, and I have 8. But I almost never have 8 because I ping the line a lot, and it just really depends on the time of day. So it's really sad because they just won't make the investment into fiber optic. But in the city, I had fiber optic, and 30 was what you paid for, and you got maybe 18. So you paid for 30, but you didn't really get 30. But it was still fast. It was excellent. So that's the problem. What about the rest of you? I'm just curious. How does that compare with the rest of you? Can you get 10 megabits?
You
Or
can
substantially
get
more?
100 megabits.
You pay for 100, but do you get 100?
No, you can get. I pay for 12,
Right?
and
12 is good.
I have 12 all the time.
If you pay for 100 here, you won't have it, because the problem, I think, is that the fiber optic doesn't cover the cables. Fiber optic cables, I don't think they cover the whole country, and that's the problem. And you don't know what kind of cables are being used all over the world. So that's the problem. But if you tell me in Spain you pay 100 and you get 100, I will move to Spain today.
In optic fiber
Fiber optic?
yes, for sure.
Wow.
If it's ADSL, you'll never
know.
You'll never.
All right. Well, and then the question is, can you get it everywhere? Oh, we lost Juan. I was just about to ask Juan a question, and he had to go. Uh-oh. All right. Well, listen, everyone. I hope that language is a little bit easier now, and it's really good native English-sounding expressions. So use them. As I mentioned before, I'm going to give you the next part as a homework because it's just too much to do in class, and we have to move on. Okay? But we are going to use the language on Monday. So you're going to listen to part 6. Listen to the interview. You're going to work on these adverbs about changes over time. So we're going to kind of mix those adjectives and adverbs together, which would be very useful. You're going to listen to this. I'll give you the audio. And let's see if you can do this. Where on the line would you put the phrases? This one you can do as well. You can prepare all of that on your own. In the next class, we're probably going to pick up in part 9 with the key words. You're going to do a little talking, and then there's your slide that you're going to describe, and then you're going to prepare a short talk of your own. So we're going to probably do 9 and 10 together. You're going to prepare 8, 7, and 6 on your own over the weekend. I'll give you the audio. Okay? Is that clear with everyone? Are we cool?
That's okay.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So we'll stop here. I'll give you the link a little later, and we'll take it there on Monday. You'll prepare a little impromptu presentation. You'll get lots of practice with slides. Maybe I can bring in a few slides as well. Okay? Good language, very useful. So check it out. I'll give you a second homework as well, a more general one, to work with some of the keywords. That's it for now. Have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow for Hot Topics, and the next Getting Results in Business will be Monday at 10 a.m. GMT. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.